Emperor Charles the Great is a fire attribute warrior type link monster. It's a link 1 with 3000 attack points and requires a level 9 Infinable Knight Emperor Charles equipped with a equip spell. If this card is link summoned, you can target one Infinable Knight Emperor Charles in your graveyard. This card's name becomes that target's original name and it gains that target's original effects. Then equip that target to this card as an equip spell that gives it 500 attack. Once per turn, when a spell or trap or effect is activated, as a quick effect, you can send one equip spell from your hand or face up field to graveyard to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. The summoning condition on this card is quite difficult because you do need the original synchro monster, which is a level 9. It also has to be equipped with an equip spell, and so I know you can get the equip spells which are treated basically from being monsters into those, so that's not so difficult, but meeting the condition to bring this card out could be potentially a bit troublesome. Once this card is link summoned, you're able to take an Infinable Knight Emperor Charles from the graveyard and treat this card as its name, and it gains that card's original effect. That's decent, and you're able to boost this card up to an additional 500 attack, making it a 3500 attack monster. Every time, once per turn, when a spell trap or monster effect is activated, you're able to just send an equip spell from your hand or face up on the field to negate the activation and destroy it. That's quite decent because that will protect your monsters or your various other cards, but the problem with that is your opponent will know what this card is. They'll try and bait that card out by trying to use a different card to get rid of it, and then using their more powerful card with a higher response rate, and since you can only negate the first effect, you're going to have to use it that first time, otherwise you then risk losing this card. In terms of the previous monster, this card is the Infinable Knight Emperor Charles, and this effect is if an equipped card becomes equipped to a monster on the field, except even during the damage step, you can destroy one card on the field. During the end phase, you can equip one equip spell from your hand or graveyard to this card, then you can equip one fire warrior monster from your deck to this card and equip spell that gives it 500 attack. You can only use each effect of Infinable Knight Emperor Charles once per turn. So this is also part of the effect that it would be taking. It's the ability to destroy a card on the field. That's quite useful as it's a good way of getting rid of your opponent's cards. And during the end phase, you're able to take a equip spell from the graveyard or from the hand and put it to this card, as well as equipping a fire attribute warrior type monster from the deck, which boosts this card by a further 500 attack points. That would make initially the card a 4000 attack monster in the very first turn it's summoned.